That's the way, Caleb.
Music offers a limitless resource to an early childhood classroom. It can stimulate a child's imagination, feelings of self-worth, and thought processes. Music can be fun and beneficial for children in structured groups, but its true value extends across the curriculum. Thomas Moore, early childhood educator and professionally trained musician, views the role of music as supporting the total development of the child.
Music should be used to support children's growth and development. It also should be used to help teachers to understand what the child is thinking. It's an expressive kind of experience, and as teachers observe children, they're also putting their curriculum together. They're planning their curriculum as they hear the child sing about things that are part of the child's world.
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day.
The musical training and abilities of an early childhood teacher need not be extensive to provide a solid foundation of music in the classroom. It is the teacher's knowledge of child development and enthusiasm about music that is important.
Music educators, I feel, are doing a great job with talking about music and how we can develop the child musically, but I think as early educators we should focus on the child's total development.
Teachers should, however, take advantage of any opportunity to expand their perspective on music in the classroom.
Have you ever, as you're working with infants, have you ever taken a child and you're pulling the child close to you and you're creating the song?
Oh, yes, always.
She's real good at that.
Always,
yeah, good.
Yes. But it makes me feel extra good, you know, just to know that I can have them close to me and I'm close to them, and somehow it's like a bond. It's hard to explain.
It is never too early to introduce a child to music. It's soothing and stimulating. It also develops receptive and language skills. Babies respond to all different types of music.
What happens when we're using music with the infant? You will notice that the caregiver is in close contact with the child. In most cases, the caregiver has the child in her arms. And you watch that look. The singing is going on, but they're also looking at each other. And this is something I think is very important, that the caregiver allows herself to be there with the child and to focus on the child as an individual. And this is why it's so important also that we have the right kind of staffing ratio, that then you can have that bonding occurring. And music is something that has been used throughout generations, from culture to culture, it's a way for the parent to make that happen, that bonding happen.
Put your hands in your lap, in your lap. Put your hands in your lap, in your lap.
Music can be used to shape the environment. It sets a tone that can be expanded upon based on the teacher's knowledge of the children and their developmental stages.
The auditory development of children began very early on in life, and when they hear certain kinds of music, it kind of moves them to think a certain way. If a teacher is interested in slowing a classroom down, if you feel that children are overly active, what you can do is put on a lullaby or some other soft music, and that kind of helps the child to move at a slower pace. And it puts the child back in control instead of having the teacher use her voice to say, get back in control, slow down.
Music can also be the transition from one activity to another.
Cleanup time is here again, here again, here again. Cleanup time is here again, here again, here
teachers who are creative are people who I'm finding that are providing music as a transition to classroom experiences. And what I see is I see children hearing a particular song, and from that song they know what is happening next. And these are ways that I think that we can help children to learn to pay attention to what's going on inside them. They have information inside that says this experience is about to happen. And so the teacher is actually giving a signal through this transition song. And I like it when children begin to pick up on what the teacher is, on that transition experience of what the teacher is singing, because from time to time they will themselves provide a song for transition for a particular activity.
Meredith is special, Meredith is special. Do you see? Do you see?
Music reinforces ideas and builds self-confidence.
That is Meredith, that is Meredith. Ryan is special, Ryan is special. Do you see?
If you're happy and you know it, say, I love you. If you're happy and you know it, say, I love you. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, say, I love you.
Music helps build self-esteem by giving the child something that has been shared with the child. You just kind of giving it to the child and saying, go and take this is yours. And I think what happens is most children, when they learn a song and they do go home and share it, or they do share it with their friends, that it gives them something to give to other people. It's the same if they had an art activity that they would take home to share with their parents. That what is happening there, this is something that the child has created, and the child is sharing it. And we must give children opportunity to create something to share with other people. And through that, the more that we're doing that, the more that children will feel good about who they are. When children are feeling good about themselves, they're going to tell us more about what they are learning and what their home environments are all about. And that empowers us more to plan for them the kinds of activities that are appropriate for them or each child as individuals.
It's important to consider the process and philosophy of using music when integrating it in a curriculum. Cooperation, negotiation, and problem solving are primary goals in working with music in the classroom.
Zachary, where is Zachary? There he is. How are you today, Zach? We hope so. Let's have juice. Let's have juice.
Children are grouped in different ways. We have the small groups, and we do have large groups. And in some of the experiences where we group them in pairs, what we're doing is providing them opportunity to get another person's perspective. And I enjoy having those experiences where, as children are, well, to give an example, when they are patty caking, that what happens is we start out with, this is my idea of how we should patty cake. This is what one child says. And a child turns to the partner. The partner has another idea, and so between the two, they have to work out this problem because they may have two different ways of patty caking. And this is what I think we need more and more in our classrooms, more time for children to work through their problems and to get to know the other person's perspective.
Are you ready? Are you ready, boys and girls? Here we go. Do the rock and roll baby. Do the rock and roll baby.